For most of America's history, we have been a Judeo-Christian nation. That's not true in the rest of the world. They are pagan. In fact, if you take China, Africa, India, and Asia, that represents 2/3 of humanity's population. And they practice ancestor worship. In America, we honor the dead. We visit their grave sites to lay flowers. We look at the tombstones. We have yearly memorials. But in other parts of the world, they worship the dead. They seek to appease the dead. They commune with the dead. And they even fear the dead. And this is true from Tokyo to Beijing, from Nairobi to Mumbai. In Africa, for example, witch doctors claim to send and receive messages from the dead. Hindus in India and Buddhists in Bangkok have altars to the dead, shrines, pictures of them. They offer them incense, candles burn, and they give food as an offering to the dead. Some of them bow before these pictures and these altars in their homes on a daily basis. And they'd better do it, because if they don't treat the dead properly, the dead may unleash evil upon them for some perceived mistreatment. On September the 14th of this year, I wrote a blog about Black Lives Matter and how some leaders in this movement are wanting to promote the idea of worshiping African ancestors, to the extent they have, in Black Lives Matter, libation rituals where they give the pouring out of an offering in an idolatrous pagan ceremony. Now, the Bible calls this necromancy. Recently, in the Wall Street Journal, there was a fascinating article about Buddhist and Hindu priests who are becoming very upset that in this age of COVID, some Hindu and Buddhist priests are doing Skype and Zoom ancestor worship rituals. Here's what they say. They believe that when a proper ancestral worship ritual is performed, the spirit of that ancestor resides in the priest performing the ritual in person, in place, and you can't do that on Zoom and you can't do it on Skype. And in the article, a Nepalese priest warned that if you do this, you may be cursed by the dead. As an exorcist, dealing with people all over the world through virtual encounters, I constantly encounter ancestor worship. Let's be plain. It's okay to respect the dead. It's all right to pleasantly recall their memories. And to hallow the dead with some type of a yearly memorial. But to worship the dead is to invite demons impersonating the dead to enter into the living. To placate the dead, to fear the dead, is a superstitious belief system that opens one up to demonic possession. If your dead loved ones are in heaven, rejoice. If they're in hell, don't buy into the superstitious belief that you need to worship your ancestors.
Your financial support and prayers make it possible for us to bring hope for the hurting and freedom to those in spiritual bondage. For the latest information regarding ministry outreaches, go to boblarson.org or call 303-980-1511.